Up next is the App of the Week segment. This is a segment dedicated to app demonstrations. Should you have an app that you would like to demonstrate for our listeners, feel free to send us the recording of such an app demo to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your App of the Week. Let's now turn on to our next segment, and this time we're talking about the App of the Week. And this week I'm demonstrating an app called Audify, not to be confused with the one I demonstrated for episode 183. You'll hear what it is, and now here's Audify. Hi, for episode 184 App of the Week, this is demonstrating Audify, Audify. Audify is a notification reader, not to be confused with the one I demonstrated for episode 183. That was for reading web pages, books, articles, documents, etc., etc. For today's demonstration, I'll be utilizing my Pixel 4 running Android 13 and Android Accessibility Suite 14.x. I am on the web page of the app, that is on the play page of Audify, and now we'll navigate to the About so we hear the description of the app. This will help you to determine as to whether or not this is an app you would like to use or not. Let's go ahead and tap on About.
About this app, heading.
And I'll tap
Google Play Store. Audify. Notification reader. Details, out of list.
I will now touch the screen so we hear the description from the developer. Here's what it says.
Drive safe and enjoy distraction-less music with your notifications assistant. Drive safely. Focus on the road while you drive or ride and let Audify announces your notifications in your preferred way. Enjoy music without distraction. Enjoy your music like never before. Don't let the notifications spoil the joy of music. Audify can mute your notification tone on demand and announce the notification. Stay connected with your notifications. Audify helps you to be informed about your notifications without any effort. It speaks out your notifications through your phone speaker or headset or via any connected Bluetooth device and intelligently ignores the notifications that might annoy you. Activates and deactivates automatically. Once Audify is enabled, it starts to work automatically as soon as you connect a wired or wireless headset speaker and stops itself as soon as you disconnect your headset speaker. Hard drive safely and let Audify take care of your notifications. Hard enjoy music without getting anxious about annoying notifications. Ignore the unwanted and only act when you receive an important notification. Hard cast your notifications on your big screen with Google Cast support. Hard enable Audify on speaker wherever you want and be informed about your notifications. Hard tons of options to customize as you like. Hard fully accessible via TalkBack. Hard Wear OS support available. Key features. Mute annoying apps and enable only those apps you like. Add blacklisted words and mute any specific notification from any app. Disable Bluetooth device or wired headsets. Privacy mode to skip notification content. Automatically save your vehicle location and easily navigate with Audify. Intelligently avoids consecutive notifications from the same app to avoid an annoying burst of notifications from a specific app. Enable Audify on phone speaker. Supports Google Cast, Chromecast devices. 250 free Audifications. Buy Audify Premium once to get unlimited Audifications forever across all your devices. *1 Audification equals 1 notification that is spoken by Audify. Reddit community. https://www.reddit.com/r/audifyapp. Official Twitter handle. https://twitter.com/audifyapp. History of Audify. Part 1 https://goo.gl/1werge. Part 2 https://goo.gl/vjfwqj.
That's the description of the app. I'll now go back to the previous screen so we can install it.
Play Store. About this app. Heading.
Now I'll scroll back to top and tap on Install.
Install. Button.
Let's go ahead and install.
0%. 72%. 74%. Open.
The app has been installed and now I'll tap on Open.
Audify onboarding screen. Welcome to Audify, in Pager.
We are now on the welcome page, in other words, like a little mini tutorial. And here's what we come across going down from the top.
The Honorable Speaker of Notifications.
Moving on down.
Audify bot image in disabled state, image.
In the middle, we hear it's in a disabled state. Moving on down, there's a text string below that.
Enable notification access.
And below that,
Off, switch.
it's an on-off switch. I'll just enable this for giggles.
On.
And then at the bottom right,
Next, button, out
we
of
tap
Pager.
Next.
Page 2 of 4.
We are now on page 2, and from the top,
Try on speaker.
moving on,
Announces notifications on your device speaker.
and in the middle, another little picture of the speaker.
On speaker image, detected. Icon, crossed out loudspeaker.
And below that,
Off, switch.
there's an off there. I'll tap to turn it on.
On.
And below that,
Play sample notification, button, disabled.
it says it's disabled. I don't know why, but next, let's tap on the next at the bottom right.
Next, button, Audify, page 3 of 4.
We're now on the third page.
Try headphones. Let's connect a wired or wireless headphones.
And there's a picture in the middle of the phone.
Audify headphones image in disconnected state, image.
And of course, we'll have the same idea of turning it on or off.
Play sample notification, button, disabled.
I don't have my headset on. And at the bottom right,
Next, button. Thank you, in Pager. Page 4 of 4.
we're now on the last page of the mini tutorial. And at the bottom right
Done, button, out of Pager.
is the Done button. I'll tap.
Audify. Hey there, I am Audify. Let me take you through my controls. Tap me to start.
We are on this page that tells us to tap to get started. I would like to explore the screen, and always I'll start from the top left.
Audify mascot, button.
On the top left is a button that says Audify Mascot, and tapping on that does nothing. Moving to the right,
Locate, button.
Locate. In other words, if we tap here, it's going to take us to a screen where we'll enable the ability to access our location that has to do with finding your vehicle when you park it and all of that. Let's move to the next one.
Cast, disconnected.
We have the cast. In other words, if you want to cast this to some other speaker. On the top right corner, the last button we got is
Settings button, button.
Settings button. Moving on down below that,
Unlimited.
there's a button that says Unlimited. In other words, if you want unlimited notifications more than the 250, you tap here to go purchase that unlimited. Let's take a look and see how much that will cost.
Buy premium screen. Back, button.
Moving on down to the middle,
Audify Crown is a way for longtime users to appreciate Audify. It helps Audify's developers to continuously improve Audify. Of course, we will proudly add a crown to your Audify bot.
so that bot that we keep seeing in the middle of the phone, they could add a crown to it. Now, at the bottom of that,
Get Audify Crown, button.
Get Audify Crown. I'll tap here.
Support Audify, Audify. Notification reader, current price $12.99 plus tax. Google Play Store. Google Play.
We are now on the page where we could purchase it, and it's at $12.99, basically $13. And if your state collects taxes, then you'll add that tax to it. So we're looking at a little over $13. I'll go back.
Audify. Buy premium screen. Get Audify crown button.
I'll go back again.
Audify. Unlimited.
Moving on.
Enable on headset. Speaks via wired or Bluetooth headset.
And below that on the right edge of the phone is a switch.
Off. Switch.
Moving on.
Enable on speaker. Speaks via phone speaker. Disabled.
And to the right edge.
Off. Switch.
Moving on.
Installed apps. Manage your installed apps.
Installed apps. In other words, if we tap here, we'll be taken to the list of apps we have on our device, and one could choose which ones to hear notifications for and which ones not to hear notifications for. I'll show you a quick example. Let's tap here.
Audify app filter. Back button. Showing items 1 to 9 of 492.
We're on a page that lists all of my apps, and we hear there are a total of 492 apps. And you can choose which ones you want to hear notifications for and which ones you don't want to hear notifications for. On the top right corner of the phone, we have more options.
More options button. Pop-up window. System apps. Not checked. Checkbox in list.
The system apps is not checked. Below that,
Enable all.
there's enable all,
Disable all.
disable all. And that's the last one. Let's go back.
Audify app filter.
And now go back again.
Audify. Installed apps. Manage your installed apps.
Moving on.
Audify on Chromecast. Cast Audify to use it on any of your Chromecast-enabled device.
Moving on.
Close button.
There's a close there on the right edge of the phone.
Troubleshoot Audify. Is Audify stopping in the background? Please disable background optimizations to allow Audify to reliably run in the background to announce notifications.
And below that,
More information button.
there's a more info. And if we tap here, for example,
Audify. Manufacturer.
we heard manufacturer, and moving on down,
Google.
moving down,
Device.
next,
Running. Pixel 4.
next.
Android 13. Close.
There's a close there on the right edge of the phone, and below that is some information.
Explanation.
Moving on.
On Pixel and Nexus devices you have the lowest chance of something going wrong with background processing, but still there are several places to look at. Some use cases are no longer possible or paradoxically more battery consuming, e.g. gathering sensor data through sensor batching. See Solution for developers. With the introduction of doze mode in Android 6 Plus, and you may need to opt the app out of battery optimizations to make it work properly. A serious doze mode bug existed in Android 6.0 that prevented foreground services from doing their intended job. See Solution for devs. For workaround, but luckily this was later fixed in 7.0.
I just tapped to stop it. You can read this on your own at your leisure. Let's go back.
Audify. More information button.
And that's the last item there on this page. Let's go back though to the top right corner and tap on that settings.
Settings button. Audify settings. Back button.
We're now on the settings page, and I may not necessarily go into all the items here on the settings, maybe some few ones that I think are of importance. You can go through these things on your own and go through them and see which ones you want to enable and which ones you don't want to enable. Here are the items in settings.
Notifications heading.
Notification headings, and below that,
Notification settings.
here's the notifications. Let's quickly go in here and see what it has.
Notification settings. Back button. Out of list.
Here's what we got.
Notifications heading in list. Open Wi-Fi notification on switch.
I'm just going to go through them.
Low battery alert on switch. Notification modes heading. Mute notification tone off. Toggles your ringer mode to mute notification tone.
Next,
High priority only Speak only high, max and default priority notifications. Ignores low and min priority. Off, switch. Do not disturb mode. Speak notifications allowed by phones do not disturb mode. Off, switch. Ringer mode. Never speak in silent or vibrate mode. Off, switch. Delay mode. Delay the announcement by few seconds to avoid overlapping notification tones. On, switch. Privacy mode. Speak the notification title and skip the content. Off, switch. Clear mode. Clear the notification after speaking. Off, switch.
In other words, if you want a spoken notification to be automatically cleared upon hearing it, you could turn this on so it will just clear it for you. And the last item here,
Skip all app names. Hint, you can also disable app name for a specific app under App Settings section. Off, switch.
let's go back.
Audify settings. Notification settings, in list.
Moving on beyond notification,
MISC, heading.
we come across the MISC heading, and below that,
Speak when screen on, switch.
next,
Enable speaker while charging. Enable when charger is connected and disable when charger is disconnected. Off, switch. Devices. Enable or disable a specific device.
in other words, if you go in here and the devices that you've added to that you could cast to, if you want, you could disable those devices or some of those devices that you no longer would like to hear the notifications on. Moving on.
Schedule. Set up Audify's working hours.
So in other words, you could go in here and set a schedule to say, hey, only work from X hour to X hour. Next.
Caller ID, heading.
Next.
Announce incoming caller name. Does not support Bluetooth headsets and speakers with their own ringtone. Off, switch.
Next.
Theme options, heading.
We come across a theme, and below that,
Theme, auto. Showing items 1 to 11 of 21.
we have the auto, meaning it will grab whatever your system theme is. But if you want to change it, you could tap here and go choose something else. Next.
Sound settings, heading. Showing items 11 to
Sound
21 of
settings.
21. Text to speech, English.
Text-to-speech engine. In other words, you can go in here and choose a TTS engine that you would like to use. If, for example, you do not like what you're hearing from your system settings, you could go in and choose some other TTS engine if you have installed other TTS engines. Moving on next.
Sound and notification.
Sound and notification. Next.
Announcement volume, 100% of music volume.
Next.
Audio ducking. Lower volume of other apps during announcement. On, switch. About Audify, heading.
Next.
Help. We are happy to help you out. Show tutorial. Show Audify tutorial one more time.
Moving on.
Statistics. 0 notifications were carefully spoken so far.
Next.
Version 4.4.05043.
And that's the last item in this area.
Audify. Settings button, out of list.
I went back to the previous screen, and with that, I conclude the demonstration of Audify, the notification reader. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for listening.
I want to ask you a question. After I listened to the demo, I noticed that when you were when you were setting up the app, it wasn't, you just enabled the speaker thing, which is to speak the notifications when you are not connecting an earphone. But I noticed that it was still disabled. So what's the point? I mean, you just need also to go to settings. You just need to go to settings to do it again. So what's the point?
So here's what I think why it was disabled is because I haven't enabled any of the notifications. In other words, you need to go choose the app that you would like to turn on the notification for.
Okay. So after you set up the stuff related to notifications, this will be turned on?
Yeah, so after you set this up, then you go into the apps, the list of apps that you would like to hear their notification read, and you turn those on, and then you should be able to use it. It's a neat app for people who would like to hear their notifications getting read, but you can also further customize how you get those things read. If there are certain apps, or maybe you don't want the name of the person to be spoken. I'm talking about you guys out there, young people. You're dating someone, you don't want someone to hear that nice, juicy message you're getting. You could choose to kind of say, hey, when this name comes through or this word comes through, don't speak it, and things like that. So I can see the usefulness of this app. I think that it is well thought through for the guys who did this app, and it's a great app. No wonder it has like over 1 million installs.